when we look at social media, when we look at YouTube, when we look at a lot of influencers who are in the fitness space, their body and the way how they project it with the lighting, the editing, and all of that, sometimes it looks realistic and you feel like you want to achieve that. And having goal like that, it just messes your psyche, like I want to be more like this, I want to have ripped abs, like it becomes more aesthetic focused.
Yeah, and all of those fitness influences are. This is going to be a bit controversial. Those fitness influences are not natural. To achieve that kind of body, they have sacrificed a lot of things.
Yeah.
A Sankarshan Joshi trip.
So, man, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Sankarshan Joshi trip. In this episode, we have Aniket. So Aniket, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you for deciding to do this. Like your time is much appreciated. So you're here for the first time, and people are my audience are listening to you for the first time. It would be great for them to hear who you are from you.
So, I'm just a guy who likes to lift and likes to do business. Simple as that, man. But yeah, in the country right now, it's more likely to be an entrepreneur because there's
Mhm.
like lack of jobs currently,
Yeah.
and especially engineers and doctors are we have, we have like too many engineers, doctors. So from the very start, I thought of doing some business, and I like the sport of powerlifting since like 2016 because of some people. Like when I was growing up, I used to watch Omar Yusuf, Silent Mike, and bunch of other people. Christian Guzman was also there. Christian Guzman is like a big thing now in like
Okay.
USA. He has his own big gym. Like his gym is known as Alpha Land.
Okay. I
It's a
think I've
very
heard
very
about that.
very big gym. He was into fitness. He
Hmm.
was into physique bodybuilding type of things.
So aesthetics.
Aesthetics, yeah. But Omar Yusuf and other people were into like started just they just started the powerlifting journey on the side.
Okay.
So I got very motivated from that particular people. And in India, there was guy known as Shreyas Kamath.
Hmm.
He's from Mangalore. So that guy also started like doing the specific three movements: squat, bench, and deadlift, which are required in powerlifting. So I got like motivation from that itself. Like if these people can do it, why can't I?
Hmm.
So I just grinded like how many years I don't remember. I started like lifting when I was like 15 or 16. Now I'm like 26. So it's been like 10, 11 years.
A decade
A decade, yeah. A decade is
lifting.
gone like lifting. It's but fun. When you start lifting, it will be fun.
Yeah. So powerlifting is one of your major part of you, if I can say, powerlifting, and
Yeah,
also business, right? You
business.
also have. Would you like to shed more light on that? Like, what do you do from the business
I would like
standpoint?
to share some light on the powerlifting business I have.
Okay.
So when I started powerlifting in India, there's no specific accessories like when you have like a wrist straps, liquid chalk, smelling salts. We didn't have any companies at my time when I started the business.
A decade back. A
Not
decade
decade
back,
back,
you started lifting probably.
7 years ago.
Okay.
In 2018 or like 17, we started the business. So what happened is I was looking for liquid chalk online, and at that time I just was a kid who loved lifting and didn't had too much cash in the hand, like every middle class story. So I was just looking for liquid chalk, and I searched for it. It costed like 2 to 3K for a small bottle, 50 ml bottle.
Okay.
So I thought, what is in this liquid chalk that it's that
This
much
expensive.
this expensive? Yeah. So I started researching. I was a science student, like not that great, but I was from a science background. My father is engineer, so I had like some expertise in like opening the things, reverse engineering things. So I just did some research about it, and I thought this is like not a big deal. We can make this at home. So we started the business from the home itself. We started making liquid chalk. I sold it for like 180 or 150 rupees. I don't remember clearly at that time. I just made it one bottle for me to use it in gym. So people started asking, bro, where did you got this? I also
Hmm.
want one. So like that, the business started.
That's very interesting because you wanted to solve that problem for yourself, and that
Yeah,
in turn solved problem for other people,
yeah,
and now that's a business.
yeah. I'm very selfish guy that way.
No, I think every business starts that way, right? Like it looks to solve problem, but if that's problem something that you are facing, that would make it even more personalized, right?
Yeah, that's why I like the brand. And to be very honest, the brand didn't start as grind gear. It started as overload gear.
Okay.
My friend Chirag Sharma and I like had a like he was my gym partner at time. So we are like, let's make a company of the same. So we started that way. And after some time, he moved to Canada for bigger and better things. I stayed over here. After that, the partnership got to my mother. And after that time, after some time, a friend like someone approached from like me from Instagram. His name was Anirudh Shetty. He had a company known as the Grind Life.
Okay.
So in 2019, we had a partnership. So the company Overload Gear transformed into Grind Gear.
Hmm.
The Grind Life ka Grind and my company Gear. That way we merged over there. And after some time, he also left for bigger and better things. He got married. He's like very good guy. Because of him, like the business started.
Hmm.
I got some experience from him because he's from a business. His family is from a business background. He taught me a lot of things about business and how to like handle business and all.
Hmm.
So I got a lot of insight from Anirudh
Learnings.
learnings. Yeah. So after that, he got married in lockdown. I guess he got married. I was not able to attend his marriage because of the COVID situation over there and over here itself. And after that, we dissolved the partnership over there. And we uh, recruited all the stocks over there. He sent me all the remaining stocks. And after that, we made a company called as Grand Gear Powerlifting LLP.
Okay. So now are you the sole owner?
No, my mom and me are the
You and
sole.
your mom.
Yeah,
Okay. So you went all the way around and came back home
yeah.
to sum it up.
Sum it up. Yeah,
That's very interesting, man. That's very
yeah.
interesting.
I
So
guess
how did you deal that dynamic? So one thing that about businesses and when you do it with friends, right? If you are not very matured about it, it becomes messy, right? Like when
messy.
you
Yeah.
get. So how was that situation where with Chirag who got married
No,
and
no,
then
he didn't got married. He moved to Canada
okay,
for
who's the
studies.
other person who
Anirudh Shetty.
okay, so he when you diluted that
Mhm.
business, was it like you bought back like his share of the company or like
No,
was it based off like mutual friendship?
mutual friendship, man. He's a very
Hmm.
good guy. He's like, we have like some stock left over.
Hmm.
You can just buy right off me.
Okay, that's how it went.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
still we are on good terms. Like we have sometimes we have a long calls, like how's life and all.
That
How's
conversation.
lifting? Yeah, because he was in Australia,
Hmm.
and in Australia there's a big culture of powerlifting.
Hmm.
He was a
Okay.
student over there, so he thought same like had the same idea like me. Come over here, and he started the business.
Hmm. So now let's talk about the powerlifting scene in India. Like, what do you think about the powerlifting scene right now?
It's growing. The least to say
Slowly
it's
but surely.
yeah. And since 2016, I have seen a lot of growth in powerlifting. I was
Hmm.
not expecting the sport to grow this much, but it has grown.
You know, the reason why I wanted to talk to you, why I was super excited was because when I was just seeing your profile, right, the dots is connected because I was at a place in my life where I wanted to focus on the big three lifts, the bench, the squat, deadlift, and also overhead press. Like these were the four foundational lifts that I wanted to get better at and get stronger at it. My the journey the before when I started, right, I was really insecure of the way how I looked, and I was not obese or fat, but I was very subtly fat shamed by my friends. So I thought, this was the sole reason. Like now I have to lose this pounds,
Mhm.
and then I have to get fit. So that was my main agenda. So I started lifting because I wanted to look better, and that took me to a point where I was eating 2 meals a day,
Okay.
and I was working out for 2 hours. I lost 25 to 30 kilos of my weight, and I was slowly overtraining. So then I realized that if aesthetics is my main aim, it's very subjective, right? Like I look at myself in the mirror, I look at the parts where I have fat. So other people, when they see, I might not look fat to them, but when I look at myself, I might be like, maybe I can shed this fat, or
Mm.
I can be even more ripped. So I thought aesthetics is so subjective. Then I thought, you know what, let's I heard this statement on a podcast I listened to. It's a fitness podcast called Mind Pump. Shout out to them. So they told me that, like, when you reach a dead end, probably change your goal. So then I thought, from aesthetics, let me go to strength. Let strength be the focus, because strength is very quantitative, yeah, qu- quantitative, right? Like, that you have lifted 30 kgs,
Yeah.
and there is nothing else to that. Like, it's just a fact.
Just a fact.
So then when I started lifting that took me to a point where I started ego lifting.
Okay.
So that took me to ego lifting road. So my entire fitness journey was just in a way very self-reflective and
Mhm.
like my own insecurities. So then I thought, you know what? I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Like, I don't have to do anything. So then I had that inner realization. Then I started working on form, like how to like doing the exercise with good form. Then now I started like putting more focus on powerlifting. So I thought, talking to you might actually help my journey, and also people who maybe want to change their fitness goals and move towards strength orientation.
Yeah. Strength orientation actually helps, like not competing in a powerlifting competition, but just training the three movements. I'll tell you one story. Recently, what happened? Not recently, like a year ago, someone parked the car behind my car, so I was not able to get out. So what we did, like me and my friend, like just hold the car and just push it away.
You just lift the car.
Yeah, I have a video of it. You can share it if you want. So I was just felt like that can what like that is what powerlifting can do for you.
Hmm.
Like
Application of strength.
just general, when you get uh, decently strong enough, you can do anything. You can just lift a bike and keep it over there.
Hmm.
It helps in the day to day task also, and there are some studies showing like it can help the bones get stronger over
Hmm.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you have studied this or not. Astronaut have to weight train in the space also,
Okay.
but they don't have the apparatus to train. So they created the own apparatus, so it can have some resistance training on the space station.
Okay.
Oh, that's the thing.
People are out there in space doing resistance training, but people right now are still counting calories and doing cardio.
Yeah, I don't like cardio is a good thing, man. I do cardio right now. I like did like 6,000 steps. So cardio is the main thing to remain like healthy. If you want to run, you can run.
Hmm.
Like right now, I'm getting a bit leaner. I'm
Hmm.
changing body weight categories, so I need that healthy thing. Not a healthy thing, but yeah, I would say like cardio helps a lot, because when you ain't doing like strength lifting, you need some food in there,
Yeah.
and I can't starve myself.
Of
So
course.
my coach Aman, nutrition coach, he had a good idea of adding some lightweight cardio. It doesn't have any effect on my strength. Like it has like but it's like a very minute effect on the strength.
Less stressful modes of cardio, like
Yeah,
walking.
just very slow cardio,
Hmm.
like on my own, like around I do like 10K steps a day.
Hmm.
Averages around 12K steps a day, depending upon how fast I go
Hmm.
and what cardio type I do.
Okay. Yeah. So before I thought of the same. I thought cardio could be anything, right? Like, it could be movement. And when I am lifting weight, that's also stress on the body, right? And sometimes you may not get good sleep. And I used to have like my working hours, like my 9 to 5 would end at like 10 or 11. I thought just going for a walk after that would relieve my stress and be calming. I thought that would do. Recently I heard that you do cardio for the health of your heart, right? Like, and your lungs, not to lose body fat or not
Yeah.
to do
just to
that.
get
But
healthy.
yeah, and I heard that increasing that capacity, that cardiovascular capacity, might increase your strength gains,
Yeah,
muscle gains.
obviously it will can.
Yeah, so now slowly I'm starting to do like cardio, like jump rope. uh I'm slowly introducing that for this specific reason,
Yeah,
because when your focus is to lose weight or lose fat, it won't like end you in good places, is what I feel.
just make it a part of a life
Yeah,
that will take
yeah,
you a long way.
yeah. The foundation, make it your foundation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basic found like when you wake up, you brush your teeth.
yeah,
When you wake up, go for a walk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thinking it this way actually helped me, because when when we look at social media, when we look at YouTube, when we look at a lot of influencers who are in the fitness space, their body and the way how they project it with the lighting, the editing, and all of that, sometimes it looks realistic and you feel like you want to achieve that. And having goal like that, it just messes your psyche, like it's like I want to be more like this, I want to have
Yeah,
ripped abs, like it becomes more aesthetic focused. So having it in your routine, now my goal is, in a week, did I do it consistently, like in a month, did I consistently do it?
yeah,
The goal becomes more of that.
yeah. And all of those fitness influencers are like, this is going to be a bit controversial. Those fitness influencers are not natural.
Hmm.
To achieve that kind of body, they have sacrificed a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah,
There's one more thing. They just show the good part of the day they have, but they can't show what kind of
yeah,
negativity they have. Some people are just coming up with the negativity, like
yeah,
what all effects does performance enhancing drug have on the m- mental side of things. People get like body dysmorphia at some
yeah,
point
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because those are very bad things, man.
yeah.
And don't recommend
Psychologically.
like children's doing it. I've seen children's doing it, not
Hmm.
children's, like teenagers doing it just to look like someone, and they ending up like in a bad situation.
Of course.
That's the bad thing.
Yeah. And also, a lot of the l- like when you take chemicals like this, right? Could be steroids or could be anything. And there are few things that you take, I don't remember the name. They fall under the category of research. So there is no restriction on that. Like you can buy over the counter. Like there are some drugs like that as well, right? That also you inject. I don't remember the specific name of it, but I heard that there is something like
We
this that.
just call the performance enhancing drugs
Yeah,
in one
performance.
category.
Yeah, yeah. So few of them fall under research category that are still available. You can order them online, and
Oh,
some of them are like properly
okay.
banned. So people are finding different routes to sell them as long as people want to.
But if you're competing in powerlifting, na,
Hmm.
in my federation, International Powerlifting Federation, you can't take like any types of drugs. Even if you take too much caffeine, they will like around like 500 mg. It can get detected, and you may get caught and may banned for
Okay,
life.
okay.
Only on a international stage, not in India. It's there were like testing done in the last national I had been played, but it's not that great.
Hmm.
To be very honest, people are still using PEDs in competitions. I'm not like bad mouthing any federation over here. Just the truth, man.
Yeah, it's the fact.
It's a fact. Like people are out there cheating system. I've seen them doing in front of my eyes. They're like, "Kya kar lega tu?" And they still lose from me. So that's a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
I
true.
don't care as as far as I'm winning.
Yeah. One thing that we haven't touched upon is you representing India in
Mhm.
powerlifting. Let's
Powerlifting.
talk about that for a second. Thank you for doing that, because I mean, in a way, when you talk about someone representing your country and you won, right? You
No,
won there.
it
You won the second.
silver.
You won silver. That's a big deal, right? So, thank you for that and congrats.
Thank you, man.
So, how was that experience like?
It was good, man. It was my first experience like going international to represent India on a big platform. It was a Asia platform. So in 2019, I won like nationals. I got a gold medal. I broke like 3 records.
Wow.
And after that, when you get a gold in nationals, you have a choice of playing either Asia, Worlds, or Asia Pacific. So the Asia meet was in December. So I was like, let's choose the Asia meet because Worlds, it's a big competition over there. I won't even like be in the top 10 list according to the world standard currently. So I was like, let's play Asia. Let's get some medal for India. Not for India especially. I was a bit selfish. I like खुद के लिए कुछ लाते medal वगैरह. So we did that. We had a lot of fun experiences, a lot of bad experiences. I'll tell you a story from the competition. Before the competition, I was cutting weight to make weight. I played in the competition. I was supposed to be around below 105, but I was around 108.
Okay.
So I had to water cut. So I did like the water cut for a week. There's a simple procedure of it. I have video on YouTube how to do it. There are many videos on YouTube how to water cut for powerlifting competition. So we did that, and I was around like 104. After weighing, I had to regain all the weight to gain like something like to maintain the strength. So I drank a lot of water. I drank a lot of electrolytes. After that, I was not able to digest it. I had some digestion issue. So everything came out.
Oh my
I
god.
started puking all over. People are looking like what the guy is doing over there. I was thinking like I'm done. I was not able to play the competition. I will never be able to play competition. I just missed a big opportunity to play competition. And after vomiting, I got a big cramp in my
Stomach.
abdominal region. Yeah, stomach. So I was not able to stand up properly. So I sat in like the cobra pose. You know the cobra pose, right?
The
Yoga.
like you mean this? Like you sit
No,
on your legs like this
no, no.
folded?
Uh,
Oh, I get that. Yeah. In that it comes in Surya
yeah,
Namaskar
so
one
namaskar.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah, the co. Yeah.
So because I was not able to stand up properly, I was just in a stretching position. It was a bit comfortable that way.
Okay. So you had to work
I
to
was
gain
that
out.
in the position for like 30 minutes,
Okay.
and suddenly someone comes like, "You are next."
Oh my god.
I was like, "Let's go." I like did a small change. I told the guys I won't be able to lift my first attempt. We can change that. They're like, cool, no issue. I changed my first attempt was like around 260 kg. I changed it to 180 kg. So 180 kg is
What
not
was it? Deadlift, squat,
first
bench?
in powerlifting competition. First is always squat.
Mhm.
After squat comes bench, and after bench the last is deadlift event. So in the squat, I was like, first let's get the number on the stage, then we can do anything. So I did 180. 180 is nothing, just like warm up for me. So after 180 kg, we ran back down in the warm up area. We started warming up from 220 and 250. After 250, we came back up in a hurry, and I gave my second attempt, 260 kg, 260 or 265, I don't remember clearly. After that, it cleared. It got 3 white lights, so that means good lift. And after that, I gave my last attempt as 270 kg, so that also got cleared. And after that, did my bench press. At the last attempt of the bench press, it was around like 177.5 kg. And deadlift was 280 kg, something like that, if I remember clearly. It was a long time ago.
But what got you into powerlifting? For me, right? l- l- Like I told you, I had my body image issues, and then I started working out for that. And all the people that I know, in a way, started lifting weight because they wanted to shed some pound, lose body fat, and then look ripped. Aesthetics was the purpose of why most of the people start. What was your reason? Like why you start?
Same, as I want to look good. But when I started powerlift, like the normal gym journey, my idol was Arnold.
Okay.
Arnold,
Okay.
Salman Khan, those guys. And after some time, I realized like Arnold was not natural,
Hmm.
and it
Heartbreak.
heartbreak ho gaya mera. I was like, how? Then these fitness influencers came along. Omar Yusuf, Silent Mike, lot more. I don't remember the name currently. So if I get some time, I'll just text you the names. So these guys like told, like explained like why bodybuilding is not a great way
Hmm.
if you want to do it naturally, because it takes a lot of time and you need to be very patient. like very very patient for that particular muscle to grow
Hmm.
that big.
Yeah.
So like let's grow the muscle,
Hmm.
but also have some goal.
Hmm.
So powerlifting was that particular thing what got like into lifting and having fun,
Okay.
because just going to the gym and just lifting some weight, it was not my style.
Hmm.
And I have to have some like uh result.
Hmm.
So if I lifted like 100 kg today, I can just add like 5 kg in the next week, and 5 kg in the next week, and 5 kg in the next week.
Hmm.
So that has a quantitative progress in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Progress that you can see.
See actually, but it can't go forever. It's
Yeah.
not a linear progress.
Yeah.
It will have some dips and highs and lows.
Of course.
So as a beginner, you will see linear progress to like 1-2 years, depending upon how beginner are you. But my beginner stage got over, and I started learning more things about powerlifting, and I got deep into the
Art.
rabbit hole. Like what is powerlifting? How can we program for it?
Okay.
So I like in 2019, I was like still a beginner at that time when I
When you competed.
yeah, I was just doing some random programs. I didn't have a specific coach.
But how? Like, were you intrinsically good at powerlifting?
I have no idea, man.
I mean, like how? You
I'm
just
not
got
very
into
good. I'm not good
at what?
at anything.
I mean, intrinsically, some people have that, right? Like genetically, their
It's not
ability to
possible.
grow
Not.
muscle, they have. So some people have that advantage of genetics, right?
It's very minor.
Yeah. So some people I was seeing at the gym with bad form, they had this very raw strength. You know what I mean?
Ah,
Like they were able to lift that weight even if they had bad form. That raw strength compensated for their bad form.
yeah. You're actually talking about a real athlete.
Hmm. Hmm. Did you
Nowadays,
have something like that in you? Because
as I was a football player, na,
huh,
it was baked into me
okay.
because of playing different sports. I used to play hockey also. I used to play a bit of basketball, a bit of volleyball. Now I used to play table tennis. So used to play
Hmm.
sports. So I had some of the raw thing over there. I like, abhi karna hi hai."
Aggression.
Aggression,
That
yeah.
yeah, the athlete mentality.
Athlete mentality is the most thing, man.
Hmm.
If you get hurt, it's like I can't remain this way for my entire life. I need
Yeah.
to change something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, that's another interesting thing. Few years back, like I told you, right? I slowly burned my calories. I was having 2 meals, like I told you, and I was training for 2 hours. Cut my workout in half, 1 hour a day, and then bump my calories. I wanted to have like bulk. And then my arms grew very rapidly. It was like they were waiting for food,
Mm.
like it grew rapidly. And then slowly, as I was getting stronger, I got addicted to that. Like now I want to get stronger, stronger, stronger. So some days you have good days, some days you have bad
Bad
days, right?
days.
Like based on that, you have to give the like you need to look at how much stress you're giving on your body. I used to do my max lift twice. So I used to do push pull legs on deadlift. I like my max was 100 kgs. That's the amount of deadlift I was able to do 2-3 years back. And I used to do push pull leg means twice. Twice I used to do that.
Oh,
So I used to just max, 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 and I just hit a what's it called? A plateau. Like where I was not growing, I was just there. And recently, after that, I realized, this is not how it goes. I need to like cut my workouts even more. I need to program better. So recently, I started doing more like full body workout thrice a week.
hmm.
And one day I had very less time, so I didn't spend a lot of time warming up. And the previous night I slept in a very wrong position. So I went to do deadlift. It was how much? It was 50 kgs, which was 50% to what I could maximum lift. And then I just had a cramp in my lower back.
Okay.
And for the next like 3-4 days, I was not able to move. That's when I realized, like, when it comes to when you focus on strength, right? Foundation becomes so core. Like by foundation, I mean before you go to your core lift, right? Like you keep your ego outside, you keep everything outside, you prep properly, and then you go for the lift. Am
Not
I?
exactly true, but depends upon the cramps could be due to a majority of things.
Hmm.
There are variable factors to the
Yeah.
pain and all. So cause of cramps could be lack of water,
Hmm.
uh, lack of some salts,
Hmm.
potassium,
Hmm.
or your
Okay.
salts, table salt, normal table salt. That can be stress. That can also influence some cramps.
Okay.
Overuse of the muscle,
Hmm.
improper diet,
Hmm.
digestion issue. There are variable factors, more
Yeah.
more factors than this,
Hmm.
that can induce cramps. Because I had a lot of cramps.
Yeah.
I
Of
can
course, you're
I
in the.
can I sound like a bit of expertise in it.
Hmm.
So for that stuff, you can't blame the lift,
Hmm.
because like personally I like do very less warm up in my, but that's completely my point of view. I don't like wasting the time because I have some limited time in a day to work out. So I just do specific warm ups for my specific lifts.
Okay.
For example, if I'm doing deadlifts, I'll just warm up the specific uh, motion that I do for deadlifts. For example, I'll go with the empty bar. I'll do some slow eccentrics with the tempo on. Uh, that helps me prime up for the deadlift,
Hmm.
because I don't think, that's my opinion again. uh, you need tons of warm up, but you need some warm up before the lift, like specific warm up.
I think so.
For example, I'll just
Hmm.
give a small example.
Okay.
If you are playing cricket,
Hmm.
you will warm up your hands or your legs.
Both.
Like,
Majorly.
think,
I
you
am
will,
gonna say
if you have lack of time, you will just do the specific movement.
okay.
That's why players, when they come out, they do the specific
Drive
movement.
drives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they want to be strong at the particular drive.
Yeah. This makes sense.
Yeah,
This makes sense to me.
and this I just thought of this now.
Yeah. It completely makes sense because you're prepping your body to do that
Particular
particular
movement.
moment, and you're prepping your body to put load on that moment
Yeah,
because at the scale that you are doing, that's a lot of weight, right?
that's just adaptation.
Hmm.
Human body is a very good type of a sponge. It can adapt a
Hmm.
lot of things if you are taking out the stress very easily.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
the recovery part is very good, you will be able to adapt to anything.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You know, for any compound movement, like I'm not educated in this field. Let me just give this disclaimer. I mean, you might have figured that out by now. Anything that I'm doing, it's mostly like boot camp, workshop-ish. I'm experimenting things on myself. And I study good content and like long form content, not the very short
Yeah.
content. Either listen to various podcasts from people who have a lot of experience in science and lifting weights. So I learned this concept priming muscles, right?
Hmm.
So when I am compound movements, a lot of muscles assist that particular movement, right? My in deadlift and while squatting, I wasn't using a lot of my hip
Hmm.
strength. So that put a lot of load on my lower back
Yeah.
because my hip wasn't assisting. So then I started using resistance band and slightly, doing like slightly prepping those muscles.
Hmm.
And if I'm gonna do a bench press using resistance band and like slowly pulling and stuff,
Yeah.
like slowly priming, warm up, not in a sense where like I'm sweating or like heating the body up.
That's
It's
also
mostly
part
like
of warm up.
hmm
In colder countries, not India, you need some warm up before lifting,
hmm
because in colder country, what happens is blood flow is a bit restrictive, so
hmm
you need some warm up before the workout.
yeah, let's talk about that now. When you go to a gym, like a
Mm.
proper gym bro, he starts his exercise with stretching, right? He stretches and his warm up is like run and then stretch. Are those the best form of warm ups
No,
according to you?
not, depending upon what the person's goal is, I would
Okay,
say.
let's say a typical like weightlifting session,
Like
like
weightlifting or powerlifting, or just normal gym bro stuff.
I'd say let's take someone who has like a basic level routine like push pull legs or like full body workout, like any basic level stuff. Like what would
Don't
you?
need stretching, in my opinion. If it's a
Hmm.
routine for him, we can't stop that, because it's baked in him. Like,
Hmm.
that's a routine for him. if he doesn't do that, it won't feel complete.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you get up in the morning, if you don't brush your teeth, it feels like something is missing. Then it will hinder it the whole day.
Okay. So you're saying if that's inbuilt in your routine, then go for
Yeah,
it, or
go
else
for it.
that's not the ideal warm up.
When you start, just have some basic guidelines which would help you in the long term. Like
Hmm.
have some scientific guidelines out there which can help you to make a routine more helpful.
Hmm.
And enjoying the training is not always scientifically based,
Hmm. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
science is like, you need to do the specific number of sets depending upon how hard you do the sets.
Hmm.
But having fun is a totally different thing. Main
Yeah.
thing is to be consistent.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're not consistent, you are not going to last in the game.
Yeah, that's true. The reason why I was talking about stretching is I wanted to confirm your thoughts on this, like what I'm about to say, is that the reason why we don't stretch after a point is that our body can't take load in that position, right? Like because
No,
we are
normal stretching.
vulnerable in that place. So some people, l- let's say touching the toes, right? Like
Mhm.
bending and touching the toes. So it's stiff, right? Like after a point, our body does not let you go down, and if we keep doing that, and then eventually we will be able to do that, right? So what I read was that there are certain positions in your body, let's say, there where the muscles are very weak and can't take load in that position.
Yeah.
So before lifting, if you stretch, though that restriction goes off, right? So the chances of injury go like
Mm,
increases.
that
What do you think
depends.
about that? Is that wrong, right, partly right?
That's not true for a normal lifter,
Okay.
because if you're a total beginner,
Hmm.
then it can be very true. Or you're doing some sort of a hard sport like basketball, football, like where there's some real chance of injuries,
Hmm.
then it's a bit useful,
Okay.
because in that specific sports you don't know your end range of motion.
Hmm.
For example, if you're playing football, the ball comes in the top. What do you do?
We jump.
Jump or just do a backflip. So there are, depends upon the sport and the scenario you are in. In powerlifting or in normal gym bro stuff, we have a set limit of range of motion. For
Hmm.
example, if you're doing a bicep curl, this is a range of motion.
Hmm.
If you're doing a overhead press, this is the range of motion. You know the set range of motion over there.
Hmm.
But in different sports, for example football, you don't have a set range of motion. It's up to you. That's why people have a lot of injuries in there. I've seen a lot of people having like ACL tears, PCL tears, pulling the groin area, having something like someone shoulder tackle them, they fall to the ground, they have like a injury over there. So it depends upon variable sources.
So what's how important is warm up to you, and what's the ideal warm up?
For me, warm up, I don't like doing like too much warm up. I like to be a bit specific to the movement,
Hmm.
but that's not ideal. Even my coach is like, why you my coach is Brian for powerlifting. He's from the US. He's a good coach, man. So he's like, you are something different. But in my opinion, specific warm up helps a lot in the specific movement. That's my only thing.
So if you're squatting,
I'll just
then
do
just
squats.
yeah, just squat without any weight, and then slowly, like with the bar, and then so
Yeah,
slowly progress is what you're
progress. Yeah,
saying. Do that repetitive motion and then do
yeah.
it. So this brings me to, when you are powerlifting, your focus is on three moves, right? Three, four,
I know the movements. Yeah,
max.
three.
Three: dead, bench, squat.
Yeah,
Three.
squat, bench, deadlift. Yeah,
These three are the major. So now you know specifically what to warm up for if you're warming up.
that's the main thing.
But if you go to the gym where someone is doing bicep curl and then is doing a tricep extension, is doing like anything that fascinates him, he just
Yeah,
does that, right? So this actually limiting the number of movements that you do or exercise that you do and focusing on the basic moves, that might help, right? Don't you think? Like
no,
let's say,
not really. I
so
also do some tricep work. I also do some
yeah, yeah,
bicep
no,
work.
no, no, I absolutely agree. So what I'm saying is, so these big five lifts, like the shoulder press, squat, bench, row, and then deadlift, or
Mm-hmm.
like do you think that focusing on this foundational exercises
I got the point.
and then getting stronger at that, I also agree, like the tricep biceps, they're very important because they assist in the bigger lifts. But as a core,
If you don't have access to the gym, yeah, those 5 lifts are very good. But if you have access,
Hmm?
it will be more efficient that way.
So what would the other exercises be, like in your recommendation?
Lat pull down, pull ups, dips, weighted dips,
Huh.
some shoulder press,
Hmm.
some variation of leg extension, leg press, some variation of leg curls, and lunges and all.
Can they replace? So can leg press replace squats?
Not entirely,
If you had to choose one, would you choose squat or like
depending upon how deep into like the comp is. Like for example, the comp is like 1 year away
okay, competition? Hmm.
competition. Yeah, so I was like, if I don't like squatting that much, I will reduce the frequency of squatting in the particular
Based on your interests.
interest. Yeah, if I don't like squatting that week, I was like, I'll tell my coach, let's remove squat and add some additional exercises
Hmm.
to get me in the gym
Hmm.
just to have fun.
Okay.
Especially I don't like leg presses.
No, I think that from a standpoint where you are at, right, you have a decade of experience. So you now you know, like even when you're doing stuff for fun, you know how that's gonna help you in a long run or how that's not
I
gonna
just
help you.
don't think about it
Hmm.
because thinking about it also creates more stress. I'm like, let's do what I like now
Hmm.
and think about it in after the results comes in.
Okay.
I'll train for some years, some, and we'll have my program actually has a graph inbuilt,
Hmm.
so we can have like a good look at the program if it's working or not. So my coach make this Excel sheet which analyzes my sets, my hypertrophy sets, my strength sets, my 1 rep max estimation on the particular sheet. So I have an idea of if this is working or not, or we should change it because there are various blocks. For example, I'll give a basic example of strength block and hypertrophy block. In strength block, we are more focused toward getting the 1 rep max higher.
Hmm.
In hypertrophy block, we are just aiming to increase the volume in the particular lifts. Volume in the sets, number of repetition, number of sets, and sometimes the number of weight also. That's the thing.
Two different focuses.
Yeah,
One strength where
you
you want
can't
to
always gain strength.
Hmm.
As I said, it's not linear.
I mean, mixing things up also helps, right? Like
Yeah,
you focus on this for a couple of days and then go for
not
that.
couple of days, a couple of weeks.
Okay.
So it has to do with the programming. So that's why I
So programming is key.
programming, nutrition, handling other life stresses.
Hmm.
That's key. How you manage. It's all about management.
Hmm.
That's why I like doing business because I'm able to manage that also and learn from that aspect, like how to manage my
Hmm.
training aspect also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you can learn about
Yeah.
in every aspect of life.
Yeah. That's true. Before, like I told you, when I started lifting weights early on, right? I didn't have anything better to do, to be very honest. There was lockdown, my college was also done. I was like, I didn't have anything better to do. Now let's focus on like getting fit or whatever my goal was back then. I was like on it. But then slowly things change. So like right now, I have this podcast, right? I have my 9 to 5 to fuel this podcast. And I also have another YouTube channel where I review movies
Oh,
and I
nice.
do reaction. So I have three stuffs. I'm also married.
Oh,
And
nice.
so like slowly a lot of things come in your life and you have to prioritize other things in your life. So workout was like this was my life
Main
sort of,
priority.
yeah, main point of my life. Now slowly other things come
Yeah,
in, right?
priority changes over
Yeah,
life.
and then focusing on that holistically, like exercise should complement your life, like
Not the other
whatever
way
you do.
around.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the other way around. It makes sense when you say that you have business, you have other things, and whatever you do, you should be able to manage
Everything,
all
yeah.
the stuff.
Currently, I would say I'm not that great, but I'm learning how to manage all the
Hmm.
things. I'm just at a stage. I'm like too young right now for my point of view. I'm just 26. So I'm learning stuff as I'm going on. Will take some time to get everything under control, but I'm just trying, learning every day.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the reason why you focus on other things in your life is that you start identifying less with fitness and workout, right? So recently when I got married, I didn't work out for a month or so. And then since I was not working out, my appetite was high because before that I was working out.
Mm-hmm.
So I slowly put on some fat. If I identify myself with just workout, right, that becomes an obsession. Like then I start feeling bad. Okay, now I'm fat. Like now I need to focus on other things because I'm representing myself with this fitness. So I had a post, like transformation post on Instagram, and people recognized me. All the people that I know, like my friends, everyone recognized me. Like my weight loss was very drastic because there was lockdown, and they saw me once, and the next time they saw me, I was like a changed person to them. So they started recognizing me, they started giving me compliments. I slowly started identifying myself with that, you know.
Okay.
Now that people saw like this, if I become fat,
That's
like
a good motivation, yeah.
I mean, it is a good motivation, but I was like identifying with that, with fitness aspect and how I
As
looked
as
a
point of
lot. Yeah.
yeah.
And then slowly I thought, you know what, I have other things in my life, and I started like increasing my horizon. So then I started become mentally healthy,
Okay.
not just physically. Like I became less obsessive with my food. If I ate junk food, it would make me anxious slightly. Does that
Uh,
happen to you?
Currently, like, as I'm powerlifter, so I can eat everything, but currently I'm reducing my weight to change the category and to be much healthier because
Hmm.
I was at the point of I was like 116 kg at my height. That's not healthy. To be very honest, not fat shaming anyone. It's not healthy to carry around that much of weight.
But you also carry a lot of muscle mass, right?
But carrying that much of fat is very dangerous in the long term.
Okay.
It can block your heart,
Hmm.
and I don't want to die. Simple as that. And I was not able to do my fun stuff, man.
Hmm.
Like playing football with my friends. As football is a big passion of me. Like used to be, but
You were feeling heavy.
I'm not able to move. Even if I like walk a flight of stairs, I was like out of breath. Now I'm healthy. I can wear pants and t-shirt and look good also. I'm so that's my goal, to look good also and to lift more
Hmm.
currently.
If I eat any junk food, that would make me anxious. Then I realized, like, you were talking about the fitness influencer aspect, the parts that they don't tell you.
Yeah.
I think this all comes under that, like the mental game
Game.
that they have, how much they look at themselves in the mirror, and their obsession with eating.
But like I have a what do you say idea right now. Eating junk food like in a week one time is
Hmm,
not a
hmm.
bad thing, but
Yeah,
eating junk food every day, that's a big thing. And junk food depends upon what do you categorize as junk. Like even eating too much apple is not good for you.
yeah.
Like you have to maintain sort of discipline in
Yeah,
what you eat, what you consume.
yeah, yeah,
In my opinion, obviously,
yeah, yeah.
someone might be differed, but again, it's about what makes you happy in the long term. So I think like if I don't eat this now, will I be happy?
Hmm,
Uh, will I able to play sports with my friends? Will I able to walk my dog properly? And I think the long term thing.
hmm. The other aspects of your life, like, will this help
Yeah,
you?
because I've seen people changing the story with taking drugs,
Hmm,
performance enhancing drugs. With that, there comes a lot of health issues,
yeah,
and they just do that for the short term goal, and after that, they're gone.
yeah. Hormones are out of whack.
Yeah, for that stuff, I just think it as a long term, and I was like, why should people do this if you're
Yeah,
not going to live forever?
yeah, yeah. This happens when when you let your insecurities drive your actions, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't say that I have never thought of taking drugs. I had like thought like when I was younger, like I'll just take this drug and look good and everyone will be my fan. But my friend uh, Vijay Kute, he was the owner of the previous gym I used to go, Fit Nation. So he was like, "Why? Look at the bigger picture." Then I opened my eyes, like, yeah. After 10 years, who's gonna care about my name? How big I was?
I had a very opposite experience.
Okay.
Mm, At the gym that I started in Bangalore. So I used to go to the gym when so when you go to local gyms, when you go to places like in Bangalore, or people who take drugs and they go to bodybuilding shows, they win couple of competitions and they become trainers. That's the like that, like how big you are becomes the criteria of if you're a trainer or not.
Okay.
You know, I'm saying in a very educationally backward place. I'm saying fitness education. So I used to go to the gym where he was our trainer. Like he was like max out all the time type of trainer.
Oh.
Like he was like max out all the time, and he wasn't educated in the field basically. Anything that he
Yeah.
learned because he was big and all that. My friend who was very like he was fat, and we both used to go to the gym. One day he subtly hinted like, "What are you planning on taking steroids?" So had if we had plans of taking it, he would probably help us take it.
Yeah.
We didn't have an open conversation about that, but we know what he was talking, like what he hinted.
Obviously, I've seen like a lot of people make money out of this,
Yeah.
especially in Mumbai, like in Mumbai, not Navi Mumbai, Mumbai.
Hmm.
People, uh, they do this as a job,
Okay.
like selling drugs to people. That's why I don't like this industry, specifically the drug side.
So there's this powerlifting people who everybody enters into fitness because they want to look good. But then slowly when you start moving powerlifting, right? I've seen a lot of powerlifters talk about the, how do I put this? The bodybuilding, the aesthetics community, the ills of it, like the
Yeah,
steroids, the bodybuilding, like that's not a good thing. A lot of aesthetic related
it's
endeavors.
body dysmorphia. That's the main issue of bodybuilding side.
Hmm,
But again, if you want to look good, you can do it naturally, but it will take some
a
time.
lot of time, yeah.
I've seen people just to look a bit better, they use performance enhancing drugs. Just to lift 1 2 kgs more, they use performance enhancing drugs. I don't like that mindset because they don't have a bigger picture in the mind.
Yeah.
But as I said, I was also a teenager some at the moment. My friend like, don't do this. Why? You are he saw me in a different light. He
Hmm,
was like, if you can lift this much now, picture yourself 10 years from now.
hmm.
I was like, yeah, why not?
And also, when you're lifting heavy, when you're getting strong, the muscle, let's say the stuff inside your muscle, like what surrounds your bone and then slowly comes to muscle, that becomes bigger, right? Like I've seen people. I mean, look at you. You are very big. You have a very your bicep size is like huge. And people who try to focus on aesthetics and they want biceps to grow, I don't think they can have biceps as you have. Focusing purely on aesthetics.
Depends upon what you're training. For example, there are a lot of things, especially the insertion of the muscle. My insertion is a bit low, so my muscle belly looks a bit bigger.
Okay.
Have you seen Ritik Roshan biceps?
Hmm.
His insertion is over here.
It looks very bumpy.
Yeah, but in a t-shirt, if he wears the t-shirt, it won't look as good as someone who has an insertion at the bottom.
No, but your arm size is bigger.
Yeah,
Not just isolating bicep, but your arm size is bigger. And even your forearm, right?
that's because of training.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the big lifts that you do and you carrying.
Not of that, because
No?
of loading and unloading plates. Specifically, the
Okay.
powerlifting plates I have at my place, so
They're very heavy.
they're not heavy. They're very thin, so not able to grip them properly. That brings
Hmm.
out the strength in the hands, specifically.
But the point I was trying to get at is when you get stronger, right? Like when you become, like when you're able to lift heavy, your muscle size also increases, right? Don't
Yeah,
you think?
it takes a time, but it will increase.
Yeah. Although people, that's where though, when you see people in their 30s and 40s have like the best physique they ever had. I'm talking about natural people because they've been lifting so consistently that
Yeah,
they get stronger and
stronger.
then they have like a best muscle,
I
like
have
they're very
I have a
big.
client who was like 50 or 47. He is like lifting 200 kg right now, deadlift.
Wow.
He's a Masters 2 player. I have a lot of clients. I used to have like this client, 55 years client. He used to deadlift like 180 kg. Normal, sumo deadlift. And conventional also. He had no issues. So it's upon you how you
Hmm.
portray the journey.
Yeah.
Like if you are able to deal with it mentally, you will be able to do it for a long time.
Hmm. Yeah. We were talking about this earlier, right? Like before recording, we were talking about like you come into fitness for wrong reasons,
Yeah.
but you stay for the right reasons because of the mental. If I hit the gym, if I work out, it gives me a feeling that, you know what, today I did something for myself. And that is like a way of showing love for myself.
Okay, self
Yeah,
affection.
like a self affection. And also, it boosts my confidence.
That's why I lift right now, because I get to lift in a community where people can't lift, or uh, people see me as like a, what do you say, role model.
Hmm.
That's happening to me currently. I don't boast about it, but even if I have inspired one of my followers, that's a big thing for me.
Hmm.
I like, that's, I'm done.
Yeah.
No more to achieve in the life.
Yeah.
But
And that completely makes sense, man. Like you do for the right reasons after a point of time. Like all your insecurities fade away, and then your fitness, and then right reasons stay.
I was insecure before this.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was
Before
like,
this, in the sense,
before cutting my body weight.
okay,
It
you
was
mean
a
few months back.
few months back. Yeah,
Hmm.
like back in April, I was like very fat. I was like 116 kgs. And I didn't look my best. I didn't had the best confidence in me, but I used to lift heavy.
Hmm.
Right now, I still lift heavy, but I look much better, and I have the confidence in me.
Hmm.
So that's the thing.
You look great, man. You look great.
Right now, it's I'm looking great, but at the time I was very heavy, man. My waist was like 47 inches. Right now, it's like 37.
Hmm. 10 inches.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's a huge difference.
yeah. Right now, my weight is around 102 kg. It's around like 14 kgs, and still I have to
Damn.
go down. I, I thought of competing in 83, but that's too low for me. Let's see upon how lean can I get
Hmm.
while maintaining the lifts.
Yeah. Like without losing your strength.
The strength, you can't lose strength. You just change the leverage.
Hmm.
If
What
your
do you mean by that? Can you?
leverage is basically, uh, have you ever been on a seesaw?
Yeah.
If someone fats sit over there, you will be able to get the seesaw down.
No.
There's some technique to it.
Yeah, like you jump or like try to do something. Like
Yeah,
get down and
get
pull this.
down. Yeah. So that is basic leverage.
Hmm.
So just to lift a particular weight,
Hmm.
you need to have some sort of weights in different region of the body
Okay.
to maintain the lift.
You cue differently as well.
Yeah, right now I'm a bit like 14 kgs lighter, so I have like different cues. I have to develop them
Hmm.
because it's a new thing for me also.
Yeah.
So
You're discovering things for yourself.
as I lift, I'll get used to it.
Hmm.
That's the thing. Just be, just have to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
It will get to you.
So I am also planning on mm, like focusing on these big lifts. I want to get strong at them. Let's say I don't. I'm not planning on competing, but I want to get strong at the powerlifting lifts. So, do you have any recommendation for me in terms of how do I program this? Because I mean, like you don't have to be very specific, but people who are listening, even they also might be in a place where, you know what, now I let me focus on getting stronger at the big lifts. Can you suggest like a very basic level or like a programming? Like how should one approach
If
this?
you're just starting away, there are many free programs available out there.
Okay.
Just search powerlifting programs. You'll get some free.
Do they help? Are there any
In
like
the
bad programs and then
No, it depends upon you, man. You
okay.
can have a look at them. If
Hmm.
you like it,
Hmm.
it's a good program.
Okay.
It's just about the belief.
Okay.
If you believe this can help you to get you somewhere else, it will.
Hmm.
Most the thing is belief. If you don't believe in that, it won't help.
Okay.
Same goes in the coaching. If you don't believe in your coach, he can help you, so it can't help you.
But there might be chance of having a bad coach or a bad program, right? Like,
Yeah, but belief is the one thing that is a issue from ourselves.
probably you'll get a better coach, you'll get a better program. But
Yeah.
having belief in the in
System.
that in the system is what you're saying. I get that.
Yeah, a bad coach is what in India there are like a lot of bad coaches out there who just give you a free template which is already out there in the market for free. They're charging it for ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like saying over here. It's just try out the free programs,
Free programs.
first and see. You will progress for like 1-2 years,
Okay.
and after that you have a choice of learning more about it like I did, or hiring a coach like I did.
Okay. So but eventually hiring a coach would be ideal.
Depending
If
upon
you if you're going on a very competitive level or
not competitive but
getting like
getting strong,
lifting heavy.
lifting heavy. Yeah, I would recommend like getting a coach when you're very serious about it and you have the money for it. That's the main thing, because coaching is a bit expensive compared to programs, free programs out there. But yes, it will help, but it will take some time to get the communication.
Be patient.
Communication also depends. If you and your coach don't hit off,
You don't bond well.
yeah, and it's a big issue.
Yeah.
And you need to change the coach.
True.
But when you bond with the coach, yeah, and you can like you have the connection. Like when you feel low, she will know ki you're feeling low. Let's change stuff up.
It's like it's a brotherhood. It's a mentorship.
Mentorship,
right?
basically.
Mentorship. Like it helps on a very personal level and also professional level. Like it comes like that, right?
Recently, what happened with my coach is I told him to increase the sets. He was like, what? Because I don't like having more sets on the back down sets. I hate too much volume. Like it's a bit stress on the body, but now I'm able to cope up with that because my cardiovascular health
is better.
up, so I can do it. So he was surprised. I'm like, what? I was also thinking that, but he's like, let's take it a bit slow. Let's increase it. Then I'm like, okay, it's up to you.
He understood how to approach better.
Yeah, and after that, we are doing decent enough right now. That's the thing.
Any other tips for me or someone who
Be consistent. That's it. Make it a part of a life, not a priority, but a part of your life. Like if you wake up, just go for a walk. If you want to get just healthy, or when you wake up, just hit the gym. If you make it a part of a life, it will go a long way.
Yeah.
Because you can't look good in like 1-2 years. It will take some time to get the building.
Yeah.
Building process is a long time.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, man. So that's strong row. That's my motto. That's my company's brand name.
So where do people check your stuff, the accessories that you provide to the powerlifting community? Where do people check your socials? How do people connect with you?
Grindgear.in is my website for all the exercise stuff. The strengthmob.in or com, I don't remember clearly.
Try both of them, people.
Yeah. There you can reach to us for coaching stuff. We have 2 more coaches, Vedant Pavnekar and Deva Kule. And after that, you can reach out to me on Instagram, but don't say hey, hello. Write the whole stuff because I can't reply. I can't have a conversation over Instagram. Hi. It's a bit difficult.
No short conversation. Get to the meat of it.
Yeah, just write what you want, so I will be able to check when I'm free.
Ani deadlifts, right?
Ani deadlifts, yeah.
So I'll be linking to all those stuff that you mentioned in the bio, so people can just go there and check. So thank you so much, man, for
Thank you,
doing
man.
this.
Thank you for having me.
It was a very learning experience. I think that I made a good friend today, and hopefully in the future we get to make.
Because you made a friend today. Because of this. Because of this. If it was not here, I was like, "Kaun hai ye?"
So you're saying because I'm a Naruto fan, we
Because you
bonded
are-
instantly.
You are an anime fan. You believe in something.
Yeah.
So that's why. Even my coach is a fan of Naruto.
Really?
Yeah, that's why we bond. Like there should be some similarities between
Yeah.
two
We have
bonds,
mutual likings.
mutual likings. If you don't like anything, what will you talk about?
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
We
So-
bonded over that tattoo.
Thank you so much for educating me today. It was really fun. Hopefully, we get to do this more often. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for me having me on the podcast. Parting words, sada strong raho.
A Sankarshan Joshi trip.